Capitalism is dead, and what might have replaced it is much worse. There is an argument made by Yanis Varoufakis. He says how the system that we are living nowadays isn't capitalism anymore, it's more closer to something called as techno-feudalism. I know that sounds a bit dramatic, but once you see it, you cannot unsee it. So, simply, capitalism is when people get to sell the things they own or they make and other people buy them. You get to sell your work, your ideas, and your time. And when people buy things, they typically tend to own those things. And more importantly, when people buy things, they provide money to the sellers, and hence the sellers can buy other stuff. They become the buyers. So here, ownership circulates and also the power circulates, at least in theory. Before capitalism, we had feudalism, where only a few people owned the land. Everybody else just were allowed to live on it. You had to work in it and you had to pay the rent using your labor. You did not own the ground beneath your feet, but rather you were just allowed to exist in it. And I don't know, I feel like we are back there again, just in the cloud. Just think about how most of us make money now. We don't own Instagram, we don't own YouTube, we don't own Amazon, Airbnb, Spotify, but we live on them. We build our work on them. Our income depends on them. Your visibility, your audience, your voice is all rented. Creators like me do not own the production anymore. We just are using the platform built by somebody else and hoping that the algorithm feels generous today. And even if you are not a creator, let's say you are a person with your own business, you still have to use social media and have to depend on the algorithm to make sure that your product is promoted. If you are a seller who's selling on Amazon, you still have to ensure that your product is the first thing that shows up when people search for the particular product. So the market isn't really free anymore, but rather it is leased. And the strange part is these platforms do not even make most of what they profit off from. They don't make the videos, we do. They don't create the posts, we do. They don't create the culture, we do. But the thing is, they own the space where the culture happens. Varoufakis calls this the cloud capital, digital land that everybody needs but nobody owns. You don't really buy things anymore, you subscribe to them. You don't stream music anymore, you stream access. You do not own movies, you rent attention. You don't even own your audience anymore, the platform does. And if you don't pay, you are flooded with ads asking you to pay for something else. Not just one thing, 100. What makes the system so unsettling is that these platforms get to choose who gets to be seen, who gets to disappear, who gets to be promoted and who gets to be buried. Not just what people can consume, but what can even exist. I think this is why it feels so unstable, because we have built this digital world on an invisible infrastructure that we cannot even control. One policy change, one server outage or one update, and whole lives can just vanish. I think people already feel this intuitively. Even though they can't name techno-feudalism, I know people feel that something is off. And this is why we are seeing a return to physical things like vinyls, DVDs, film cameras, something that people can hold and something that they can own. Because in a world where everything is rented, owning something feels almost comforting, almost rebellious, to say that this is mine and no one can remotely delete it.